Hello everyone and welcome to a new video on the channel. Today's video a bit later than normal. I'd usually post this at lunchtime on Sunday, but I was waiting for my tablet to charge to go off my Letterboxd reviews, and then I realised I'm going to just try and wing it this week, talking about them and just really speak more honestly about them instead of reading off of something I've thought about quite quickly. I've had time to think about all of them now, so I thought I'd give my proper thoughts and see how it goes. But this should still go up on Sunday. I've just recorded another video, which I'm hoping will go up tomorrow on Monday. And the other video I was going to record today, but I think I might leave that to next weekend and do that for next Monday. But yep, so managed to get through quite a few the last week. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But one of them was technically last Saturday, which I said to you I'd forgotten about. And that one was Sing Street, one that I'd seen before quite a few times when it first came out. I love these sorts of films, and this is an exceptional film. It's a very feel-good, music-based 80s film set in Ireland, about a young boy trying to find love, and he decides to create a band to woo this girl that's a bit older than him. So she gets involved when they make their music videos, and it's definitely what I would call a coming-of-age story. It's a John Carney film, and I mentioned him in my upcoming video, my upcoming films of the year to look forward to. And yeah, I think he's a great director. I think visually it's a great film, got a great soundtrack, really nice story, and if you're looking for an easy watch, that's not got anything dodgy in it or bad, or just a nice watch, definitely recommend checking this one out because I had a blast with it on a rewatch. I think I gave it about 5 stars because it's just an excellent film and well worth watching. Next up, last Sunday afternoon, I've still got to decide what I'm watching this afternoon. It's already the afternoon now, so I've not got much time, but I shall try and watch a film in the afternoon and watch a film at night, and I've got a bit of TV to catch up on, so I've got quite a bit to watch. But last Sunday, I ended up watching The Lighthouse, Robert Eggers. Now, I saw The Northman last year, I want to say, or the year before, and I wasn't impressed with it. Just found it quite boring, quite dull. Just took a long time to get to the point, and I just didn't like it, so I just thought I'm not going to be a fan of Robert Eggers. But then I read into it more, and I'd heard that there are people that love The Witch and The Lighthouse that really didn't get on with The Northman, or there are people that really didn't get on with The Witch and The Lighthouse that really enjoyed The Northman. So I thought, well, if I didn't enjoy The Northman, maybe I might enjoy The Lighthouse. And I can tell you I definitely did. It was a different film, very different, very weird film. But Robert Pattinson and Willem Dafoe gave excellent performances, I think. Visually and from a sound design point of view, it's one of the best films I've seen in recent years. The sound design in this is on another level. And as I said, visually it's great. Filmed in black and white. Well, or I don't know if it was filmed, but it is a black and white film. The story's a bit weird. It's a bit hard to describe. I suppose it's about these two men who are sent to a lighthouse post, and they slowly start to become a bit crazy. But yeah, I enjoyed it. Definitely one I'd give a watch again. I think I gave this a 4 out of 5. So yeah, it's definitely worth a watch. Interested to watch The Witch and Nosferatu now because I've heard great things about both of them. And who knows, maybe one day down the line, I might give The Northman a rewatch and might enjoy it a bit more than I did on the first watch. And then last Sunday night, I watched Captain Fantastic, which a lot of people have been recommending to me. A Viggo Mortensen film. Another sort of like coming of age film. If you watch my channel, you know, coming of age is probably my favourite genre. It's the one I connect to the most, probably because of my age. And because there are a lot of really good coming of age films I would just put them in the drama genre, which is again my overall favourite genre. But if you're going to put a subgenre against it, I'd say definitely coming of age. And it's a road trip film as well, about Viggo Mortensen, who's trying to raise his kids the way he wants to, the way he thinks is right in the woods, like kind of very rural. They have a very set way of living. They're very advanced intellectually for their ages. And basically something happens in the family that means that they've got to go on this big road trip. And it's about the people they meet along the way, the things, sort of trying to get used to the real world because they've not really left their way of living. They're only used to their way of living. You've got some great supporting performances from Catherine Hahn, Steve Zahn, and Frank Langella in this. And Ann Dowd has a small performance in this, and I think she's a really great character actor. Yeah, I highly recommend checking this one out. As I say, if you're into your coming of age films like me, I think you will really enjoy this, and it is, regardless, an excellent film. So that is Captain Fantastic. I'm not going to say how many stars I gave them going forward, I think, because I can't remember and I don't want to lie. I'll just tell you whether I liked it or not, and what the best and worst of the week I'm going to start doing as well. Next up, one of my new pickups from last week, A Tale of Two Sisters, which had been recommended to me in our WhatsApp group chat. I asked, what films do you think I should get? I gave a few lists, and this was one of the ones that was in the list, and one that I decided to pick up, and I watched it last Monday, the day I picked it up, and this really messed me up. I am a bit of a wuss when it comes to psychologically jump scares, disturbing things, and this is very much a Korean ghost story. It's very different to anything you will have seen before. It's a different type of horror story, but very effective. Definitely scared me. Very good story. Had great twist in it as well. I'm really looking forward to see some of Kim Ji-woon's other films. I have got I Saw the Devil, which I'm hoping to hopefully watch in the next week or so. But yeah, the Koreans really know how to make a good, gripping film. If you aren't into Korean cinema, this is a great one to start with. I think it's going to really open your minds up like it did with me. This Parasite, which I've not actually seen all the way through yet. Again, another one I'm going to hopefully watch in the next week or so. Old Boy, one of my favourite films of all time. Just, yeah. So, A Tale of Two Sisters, definitely worth watching. And then one of the lows of the week. I mean, I've got two. This one, I'm on the fence about whether I'm going to keep or not. The other one that was low, I'm not going to keep. But this was the one that I kind of spoke quite highly of in the video after watching it, but I've had time to think about it since, and that's Soylent Green. And I wasn't a big fan of it, much like The Omega Man. It bored me quite a bit. Charlton Heston, yeah, he was good in it, but it just feels like a really dated film for me personally. There's just not much going for it. Yeah, the story's quite basic, really, my opinion. I just thought it was boring. Not much more to say than that. When I put my letterbox review, it was about 3 stars. I'd say that it's an average film, but I don't think it's one that I'm going to go back to and watch again. So I probably will put it in the sell pile, because I'd rather someone else got good use out of it instead of it just sitting on my shelf and never being watched again. Then we have the box set. I'll take it out. I watched Alien 3. Now, we were talking about this in the group, and there were some people that said that it sucked, and some people that said that it was actually really good. I think it depends on what cut you watch. I watched the 2003 special edition, which is a bit longer, but I've heard it's the better cut. And I thought it was a cracking film. I thought it was excellent. Obviously not as good as Alien or Aliens, but in terms of a continuation, I thought it was still solid. I didn't like what they did at the start, because it kind of ruined the end of Aliens. But as a story on itself, on this prison-like planet, really interesting. Had a mix of like the horror from Alien and the action from Aliens in it. Really effective. I thought Sigourney Weaver was excellent. You've got a really great cast in this. A lot of British actors. You've got Charles Dance. You've got, is it Paul something? The one that played Doctor Who. I can't think of his name. Paul McGann. There we go. It took me a while to get there. Who plays a psychopathic character in this, and you've got Lance Henriksen coming back for a small role, carrying over from Aliens. And yeah, really fun, really tense, lots of good action, good kills. Yeah, it is a film I enjoy. I've heard bad things about Resurrection, but I'm going to try and get around to it this week and give my thoughts on that. So I've seen all 4, because Well, tease for one of the pickups of this week. I want to watch all the Aliens because of one of the pickups I'm getting this week. You could probably guess what that pickup will be, but yep, Alien 3. I better put this back in the box. There we go. Next up, the highlight of the week for me, it's definitely between this and like Sing Street or Captain Fantastic. Casualties of War. I bloody love this film. Thanks to Stuart for recommending this to me because it didn't disappoint. I knew it wouldn't because we have quite similar taste in film. So when he recommended me to get this, it was the last one that I could find on eBay. I put an offer in, got accepted. As soon as it came, I watched it. Just a great film. Michael J. Fox, Sean Penn, set in the Vietnam War, about this squad of soldiers based on a true story, and the leader decides to do something despicable, and Michael J. Fox's character is completely against it, and it's kind of when he gets back trying to get closure, try and get what's right happen. I don't really want to spoil it because it's a great story. A Brian De Palma film, one of his best films, I would say, in my opinion. Ennio Morricone does the score. It's a beautiful score that really fits the tone of the film. Visually stunning as well. Just a pretty perfect film. Great film. If you like your war films, highly recommend this one. Or if you're interested in a film with some good performances and a solid story as well, I would recommend it. This is definitely my recommendation of the week. The best film I've seen in the last week. So yeah, Casualties of War. Then we go on to yesterday. Did I watch this yesterday? Yeah, this was yesterday. Friday. The Last King of Scotland. This is the other one that I wasn't too big on. I thought Forest Whitaker gave an excellent performance as Idi Amin. I thought James McAvoy was good, but the story was pretty boring. Didn't engage with the story. The direction itself was fine, but I just didn't think there was much to this film. It was quite boring. It's one of those one-time watch films that is interesting for what it is, but not interesting enough to give it a rewatch. So yeah, I've not got too much thoughts about this. If you're interested in true stories like this, I'd recommend catching it on streaming or if it's on the telly. But I wouldn't pay money to pick it up because it is one of those, in my opinion, one-time watches. So yeah, that is The Last King of Scotland. And then I've realised the other one I was going to talk about, because it was a rewatch and it's gone back into the collection. I didn't pull it out, so I haven't got it. So bear with me a second and I'll just go and grab that off the shelf. So the next one we decided to watch, well, it was a rewatch for me. My stepdad hadn't seen it before. I thought my mum would like it, but because of the cast in it, but she found it boring. But that is the 2016 remake of Dad's Army, with Toby Jones, Bill Nighy, Tom Courtenay, Michael Gambon, Bill Patterson, Alison Steadman, Sarah Lancashire, Daniel Mays, Catherine Zeta-Jones, just a really great British cast, which is one of the reasons I love this film. I haven't shockingly seen the original series or the original film, but I've heard it's great, and I've heard a lot of people that loved the original series didn't like this film, but I saw this at the cinema and thought it was funny. Watching it again, probably the first or second time since the cinema, still feel the same. It's a funny British comedy. It's great to see these actors having a lot of fun. The story's fine. It's pretty basic, what you expect from a Dad's Army film. The comedy's definitely not what I can imagine the original series was like, but I still laughed. I still find it funny. So yeah, it's one that I like to put on every now and then because it gives me a chuckle, even though I know it's probably not for everyone because a lot of people probably would rather watch the original series over this. It is something I want to watch at some point, but yeah, still entertaining enough for a Saturday evening watch, hour and a half. So we decided to watch that, Dad's Army. And finally, I watched after that last night a film from last year that I skipped at the cinemas because I'd heard pretty bad things about it, and I managed to get it in CEX just before Christmas, fairly cheap, to just give a watch and see if it's any good. It was Borderlands, and I was actually quite surprised. It's a pretty enjoyable film. Yeah, it's not a very well made film. I can see why there was lots of reshoots and delays, and it didn't get well received. But it's still enjoyable. It's fun. The actors are having a lot of fun. You can see. If it wasn't for the cast, maybe it wouldn't be worth watching. But it's one of those films you turn your mind off and you just enjoy. I had a fun time with it. It's one that will be staying in the collection because I can see myself watching this at some point in the future. Glad to have it. Glad that I got it, and at the price I got it for. So yeah, Borderlands. If you like cheesy, turn your brain off action comedies, yeah, give it a go if you've not seen it, because you might be like me and enjoy it to a point. So yeah, that is Borderlands. And that is everything I've seen in the last week. A little bit more than the week before. Again, I'm going to try and watch 2 films tonight. And then hopefully a film every night next week. Just to see. Because there's so much I've got to get through. There's so many that I've been recommended over the last few weeks. I'm just looking. Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Parasite, like I said. The Great Escape, The Flowers of War, There Will Be Blood, Flash Gordon, The Warriors, Into the Wild, Moonlight, American Psycho. There's just so many, the Godfather films that I've been recommended recently. Obviously, I saw The Devil, The Handmaiden. So many that I need to give a watch. There's also some that I'd love to rewatch, like I managed to with Dad's Army, that I've not seen for a long time. So it's going to be difficult to decide what to watch. I generally, on a Sunday afternoon, try and watch a film that's a bit longer, because obviously I don't really get that time during the week. But because it's almost 1:30. Might not go for a really long film this afternoon, because there is a bit of television I would like to catch up on before putting my evening film on. So we'll see. I'll see what I feel like in a bit. But that is it for this video. If you've seen any of the films I've watched this week, let me know your thoughts on them down below. Don't forget to give the video a like if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you want to see more videos like this, and turn your notification bell on so you can see when I upload more videos like this. Comment down below anything and everything. As you know, I will always take the time to get back to anyone that leaves me a comment, because I really do appreciate it. And that is it. So until next time, everyone, take care. Goodbye.